practices which we are following in the automobile industry. Just I am sharing my screen. I hope everyone viewing my screen. Friends, everyone viewing my screen?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No. Yeah.
We-
Oh. Now you can able to view?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we can view your
Yeah.
PPT.
Yeah. First of all, I thank to all the faculties for giving this opportunity to team. Everyone, please go mute. If you have any doubt, please ask me, not issue at any time. And first of all, thank to all all the faculties and then student for this giving me a wonderful opportunity to present our best practice what we followed in the Ford India Private Limited. Already my experience, everything was shared by the Pradap. Now we are going to see the first of all, any employee entering inside our any of the company, they will follow the health and safety training requirements. In our facility, we have a different kind of training models for each and every activity. This is a health and safety training models for employee. Example, if the new employee going to join, they need to first undergone the first of all, they must undergone the induction training and the new employee orientation we will be delivering to all the employees. In this column, we mentioned the production associate, team leaders, maintenance craftsman like team leaders, everything we mentioned. So we will be covering all the persons training before and before deploying the job, we will be delivering the training to them. In this, we have a matrix. In this matrix, we will mention the timing, who need to give the training, who need to be deliver the training, what is the time, this is a one time or refresher, everything we will be covering through this. Since if we giving the training only, they can able to work in the process in the right way, they will follow the all the requirements. They will we have a process for each and every activities, we have a protocol for each and every activity. Before deploying the job, we will be communicate to all the procedure to all the employees. These are the sample training models. We have around 29 training models we have. First of all, you can see the safety orientation to the new employee. In case of any incident or accident happened, in the supervisor, how they need to do the investigation and how they can prevent for the future incidents. Everything we will be covering in this training model. And then SBI, the Safe Behavior Index. In this, we will do the audit for the each and every process, every employee, how they are doing the behavior part, how they are performing the job, whether the persons are wearing the goggle, wearing the proper PPEs, the persons are following all the safety protocols, everything we will be covering in this. So totally, we have 29 training models in the different categories. This will be delivered to the applicable persons. The new employee orientation is comply for all the employees. Other the training is required only based on their nature of job we will be delivering. So in this training model 29, we are categorized as a 6 training models. First one is a mandatory training model. It's a mandatory training model is a delivered for all the employees. Specialized training, safety training is required only for the specialized people. For example, if the maintenance is going to do the job, they will be delivering only for a maintenance person. If the team leader, they need to do the activity, they need to do the supervisor, they need to do the investigation. For the purpose, they are giving the specialized training. Skilled based persons, we are giving this special training. As a supervisor, as a safety department person, if a new person join in safety department, we will be giving the new safety training since it will come on the legal requirement also. So we will be covering the legal. So these are the 6 category. And then 6 category, we have a 3 training models. A different is a 3 training model. First one is a classroom training model. Second one is a web-based training model. Third one is a SABA tracked training model. In the SABA tracked, before like, previously you need to book your slot and then go and attend the training. It's you will be getting the certificate through this training model training. So end of the training you will be get the certificate. These all are the training modes of training we are following in our Food India Private Limited. And then these all are the basic things, what is the hour, what is the duration of the training, whether it's a refresher or method of training per processed method, everything we will be covering in this training model. This is a specialized training model like a hard work, height work, confined space, mobile work crane, lifting ringing training. Height work means if the person is working more than 6 feet height, they must undergo the height work training. And in this height work training, we will be covering what kind of ladders they will be used, how they need to approach the height, what are the PP they should follow, what are the safety protocols they should follow. Everything we will be covering in this training model. And then hard work, any welding job like drilling or like a welding or like a brazing, everything activities we will be reviewing. In this artwork we have a specialized risk assessment also we will be doing for high risk area. We have a paint shop, we have a chemical storage area, we have a flammable material storage areas. In this area we need to do the risk assessment for this areas, and then only we will be allowing the artwork. Confined space, normally the confined space will be a it's not a normal our atmosphere, it will be a different atmosphere. In this area it having a harmful gases. Normally the people will be breathing as oxygen they will be using for breathing. In this oxygen there will be a limit is there. You can breathe in the 19.5 to 23.5 level only you can able to breathe. If go below the 19.5 you can able to breathe. If the oxygen level is goes beyond the 23.5 you can able to breathe, it will get a fire. So within the limit the oxygen will be available or not, we will be checking through the multi-gas detector in this area before doing the activity. This is one of the legal requirement. So the safety department only authorized to issue the permit in this area. And then mobile crane, normally the mobile crane will be used for the lifting and rigging equipment. If they're going to lift a more than 60 kg or the more than 2 meter means they must get the lifting rigging permit. For the lifting rigging permit, the permit issuer must be undergone the lifting rigging training. So in this training also the 4 hours training model will be available yearly once they will be getting the training. So these are the specialized training for our employees and then contractor and then service provider. This is a training, skilled based trainings. Example, in case of fire, the fire team need to be approach the area. They need to control the area. How they need to be react during the emergency. In case of any fire is happened, how they are going to react. In case of any chemical spillages happened, how they are going to react. In case of any biohazard release, how they are going to react. If there any bomb threat or bomb threat means how they are going to react. So these are the different kind of training will be delivered to our emergency response team. And then battery safety. We have a PMHE. PMHE means powered material handling vehicle. I hope anyone seen the PMHE in before? PMHE means the forklift or tow truck or anyone seen before that PMHE? Any idea?
Yeah, we using that.
Yeah, you are using the PMHE.
Yeah, battery operated vehicle.
Yeah, battery operated. It's a powered material handling vehicle. Normally, why it's powered material handling vehicle means if the vehicle have a very huge weight. It in terms of tons, it's a weight. But if you are seeing the vehicle, it's not so. You can or a motorbike, like you can see like a motorbike, but the weight of the equipment is a very huge high. If the vehicle is ran over in your foot, if the vehicle is a hit you, it will create a major damages or major injury to you. That is the reason it's called as a powered material handling vehicle. For that reason, we will be delivering the training to the PMH operators, and we are issuing the internal driving license. So without internal driving license, we are not allowing employee to drive the PMHE. Similar way, Ford is a car manufacturing company. We are having the person is driving the inside the plant premises, driving the cars. For this, we have a good control. In this control, we are using the internal driving license. before issuing the internal driving license, we will be checking their health condition. Once the medical team is completed the medical examination, if the person is fit for the driving, the request routed to safety department. Finally, the safety department will be validate the training records. Finally, we will be authorized to issue the license to them for driving inside the plant premises. And then dog safety. Dog means we unloading the material in the warehouse area. We have a unique process for the unloading the materials. I go in your ME also, the subject will be available, plant layout and material storage area. See, in this dog, it will be covering in the subject. In the subject, you can maybe you can study in this how they need to unload the material, what are the safety precautions follow in the dog process, dog procedure, how need to unload the material. Everything was available in your plant layout and the material handling. So the dog with dog safety will be covering through this. In this, we are providing the dog plug or dog champion will be available. The way the vehicle reverse, what are things they should follow, everything will be covering the dog safety. And then PMHO, I already told the PMHO operator, we are giving a training to all the operator. Physically, they need to drive the vehicle and then they need to pass the examination. After the only, we will be giving the training. We will be giving the license and then overhead equipment. We have a press shops. In this press shop, the dice will be lifted. The dice cages will be in the terms of tons. The specially authorized person only allowed to lift the dice. So we will be issuing the license for them, and then we are doing the periodical examination for them also. There are eye examination and then ear checking condition will be done. After that only we are issuing the license to them. In this stamping employee hearing noise with the support of SRM only, we are doing the health examination for our overhead crane operators. And then just for your information, and then robotic, the FTPM persons mainly handling the programming of the robots and then doing the troubleshooting. We will be giving the SMA will giving the deliver to them. And then chemical safety, we have a lot of chemicals we are storing. So in this, how the person is handling the chemical. In this chemical, we need to consider the MSDS. MSDS means material safety data sheet. In this material safety data sheets covering all the details of the chemical. In case of if you drink the chemical, what will be the happen? If the chemical spill in our rice, what is the first aid measure we need to give? Everything it will be captured in this MSDS, and then flash point, fire point, everything it will be happen in the MSDS. MSDS is one of the very important thing. And then MEWP. MEWP is mobile elevating work platform. This is mainly the MEWP used to access the overhead in the roof or in the structure. We need to approach the specialized machine will be operated. And then banksman mainly to control the MEWP operator areas. The unauthorized person should not enter in this area. So specially authorized person, we are giving the delivery special training to them. After that only we are giving a license to them to declare as a banksman. And then these are the major thing for the supervisor, accident investigation, and then SOI, and then CCPL awareness, plant layout marking, and PTA. PTA is mainly for the non-standard activities. In this GSR means it's a staff level activity, staff level. And then electrical safe work practice working substation. This is one of the legal requirement also. Grade level people only allowed to work in this license, B license, C license holder only allowed to work in the substation areas. And then mainly this is for the safety department and the risk assessment. So we will be delivering the risk assessment to our team members. And then safety oriented for other employees. So in this, who are entering inside the plant, we are only authorized to deliver the first time training delivered to them. And then visitors. So mainly if you are plan to visit on our plant, we will be giving the visitor induction. It will be in the video. So they will be run in the video in the security room. After the only video only, they will be allowing inside the premises to the visitor. And then moving to the daily SOS meeting. Before moving, you have any doubt in this training? If no doubt, we can move to the next meeting process.
We can proceed, sir, I think so.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And then this is a daily SOS meeting. So meeting is one of the important thing. Since it's a MNC company, multinational company, we have a plant across the world. So if anything goes wrong in the another plant, immediately was communicated to all the plant. Same will be discussed on the tomorrow, next day morning. In this next day morning, there will be a meeting. The meeting is led by safety department, safety manager, and then it will be the participation from the plant associate level to up to plant manager level. So executive level, everybody will be attending in this meeting. Everybody representative will be attending in this meeting. In this meeting, we will be discussing the previous day injury incident near misses, and then GERT means Global Event Reporting Tool. As I told you, it was any injury or incident happened in any of the 4 plant, immediately it was communicated to them. So we will be checking, we will be doing the horizontal cross verification in all the plants, since it should not be happened in the other plant. That is the main reason for this GERT cascaded. And then department review, we have a different kind of department like a blanking shop and then press shop. Then it will following to the body shop. Body shop mainly the welding process. Once the welding is completed, it's moving to the paint shop. Paint shop normally they will be doing all the wax process, all the sealer application. Finally, the painting will be completed. After that, it will move to the TCF. In this TCF, only they will be fixing the steering column, wheel, engine, bumpers, seats, everything they will be fixing. After that, it will be go to for the wheel alignment. Once the wheel alignment is completed, they will be checking for the water leak test. Once the water leak test is a process, then it will go to the final inspection. Once the final inspection is completed, then again it will go to the for the squeeze and order process. Any noise is there or vehicle in the vehicle, they will be checking. After that only it will move to the yard. From the yard, it will go to the dispatch to the dealer, and this is a process. In this area, we have a different kind of departments. In this department, there will be a safety representative will be available. In the safety representative will be present each day. The one of the department will come and present safety assignment and the safety improvement what they did in last week. Same all will be discussed in the within 15 minutes in this meeting. Other than that, we have a safety risk assessment. This is one of the main job and the specialized job in Ford India Private Limited. We will be doing the risk assessment for all the jobs. Normally, the jobs will be categorized at 4 category. So mainly for the standard production work. The standard production work means the day-to-day activity. In the day-to-day activity, the person is doing for the producing the car. It's called standard activity. Non-standard production activity means they will be doing the rework. They will be doing the maintenance activity. That's come under the non-standard production activity. Standard non-production activity, that's come under the any improvement activity they will be doing as a non-production work. Non-standard non-production work means they will be doing the repair maintenance activity. So in this activity, you can see the standard production activity. The job is a day-to-day process they use for the manufacturing. Like example, they're doing the welding activity. For the welding activity, they must have a work instruction or QPS. QPS means quality processing sheet. In this quality processing sheet means the step-by-step of the activity they will be covering in the sheet. Based on the sheet only, they will be doing the activity. So method of statement they will be mentioned. Based on the method of statement, we will go and do the risk assessment, safety risk assessment. In the safety risk assessment, we will be identify the hazards. Hazards means it's a potential causes to create a property damage or injuries. So property damages or injuries, we will be before deploying the person, we will be check the activity. After that only we will be allowing the person to do the activity. For that reason, in Ford India, most all the jobs are very safe. Since in the beginning itself, we will be identified all the hazards, all the potential hazards, and then we will be eliminate the hazards. After that only we are allowing the employee to work in this area. Moving to second one, non-standard production work. Non-standard production work means any rework or repair activity, the person is doing the repair activity. For this also we will be doing a risk assessment. Based on the risk assessment only, they will allow to work in this area. And again, the third one is a standard non-production work. Standard non-production work means they will be doing FTPM doing the maintenance activity. In this maintenance activity, normally there will be a work instruction sheet and there will be a TEM, total equipment maintenance PM sheet will be available. Based on the step-by-step activity, we will be doing the risk assessment After the risk assessment only, we are allowing the employee to do the maintenance activity. Finally, the fourth one is a non-standard, non-production work. So non-standard, non-production work means the continuous improvement the employees are doing in these work areas for improvement the process, for doing the cost saving, for doing the innovation of the innovation in this activity. They will be doing the Kaizen project activity. So in this activity, there is no standard or step-by-step procedures. For this activity, the employee need to prepare a step-by-step activity that's called as a PTA. PTA means pre-task analysis. In this pre-task analysis, employee will be update the method of statement, each and step-by-step activity. On the step-by-step activity, they need to identify the hazards. Based on the hazards, they will be giving the control measure. This was prepared by the concern supervisor and reviewed by the concern manager. Finally, it will come to the safety department. Safety officer will be go through all the activity, whether the right control measures they taken for this activity or not, whether the clearly they identify the hazard or not. We will be checking after that only we are giving the our approval to proceed the job. And this is a risk assessment method. This is one of the very important in the safety professionals, since this will be you will be facing in your entire career. So risk assessment is a main important for all the safety professionals in Ford India. This is a very important thing. This is a unique thing for Ford India. We will be doing risk assessment for all the activities. Each and every activity we will be doing the risk assessment. After that, we will be allowing the employee to perform in this area. The risk assessment also we have four category. First one is a layout, second one is a process, third one is a maintenance. Layout stage in the beginning itself, in the open area, we will be check the layout and do the risk assessment. In this layout, the diagram will be given to safety. In this diagram, it will be mentioned where the plant will be coming, where the machines will be deployed, where the person walking area, where the person is team model areas, where the fixture will be coming, where the equipment will be hanging, where the equipment machine will be installed. Everything mentioned in the layout. In the layout itself, we will be reviewing and give our hazards, our input to them, and then they will be work on this, and then doing the process. They will be calling us for the again. We need to be check all the safety process, safety improvements in this area, hazards, and then we will giving the input to them. Based on the input, they will be working. Similar way for the maintenance also. Maintenance we will be getting the OEM recommendation. Based on the OEM recommendation, the employee will be doing the activity. Based on the activity, we will be doing the risk assessment. We will identify the hazards. This is the main thing. This is a risk estimation, RPN finding. The RPN means risk priority number. Risk priority number is we define as a three category. One is a high, another one is a medium, last one is a low level. High level means it's mentioned the red color. It will come to 10 to 25. 10 to 25 means RPN. This RPN, how we will be calculating based on the severity, based on the injury occur, it will be the risk estimation will be calculated. So based on this, the RPN will be rated. If for example, if it's the high risk, it's rated at 10 to 25 means immediately we will be stop the activity. We will be taking the action. After that only we will be allowing the activity. 5 to 9 means it's a required action, but not immediately. They can proceed the activity. Meantime, they need to take the action. If they're less than or equal to 4 means not an issue. There is a hazard. They can continue the process. No need to take action or urgently. They can run the line. That will not create an issue. Since it will not happen a minor injury, it will not happen any issues. So there will be a near miss maybe happened. For the reason only we will be giving this rating. So this is a main important thing for the safety professional risk assessment. This is called as a 5x5 matrix. This is called, normally the people will tell us a 5x5 matrix. And then this is our safety risk assessment reporting format. In this reporting format, we will be giving the what is the hazard and the RPN number. Who will be reviewing in this process what is the hazard. Finally, the people will be taking action means again we'll go and review and update the actions. Based on this, again we'll be giving the rating, everything. This is a general format we will be using in the reporting the risk assessments. Anybody having a doubt in this risk assessment?
Hello.
Yes, yes, tell me.
Sir, in layout stage,
Yes.
what are the safety improvements might there, sir?
So in the layout stage, mainly where the equipment will be placed, a main thing we need to be considered as it's a pedestrian pathway where the people need to walk, where the material will be feed in this area, how the material will be feed to the line, whether it will be affect the working area operator, everything we need to check, whether they going to provide a overhead equipment, what is the height of the overhead equipment, what is the secondary support they will be providing, what are the primary support they will be provided, everything we will be reviewing the layout, and then we giving our recommendation to them. Based on the recommendation, they will be taking the actions. Once the action is completed, again they will call us for the review, and then we'll giving the again review. We'll giving the RPM final number. Main thing is
Okay, sir.
layout approaching area, pedestrian pathway, material where they are going to store the material, where the machine going to be installed, what is the diagram, the cable routing, everything we will be assessing during the layout stage itself.
Okay, sir. Sir, while fixing new machine also, will they want to take SRA, sir?
Yes, yes. Once the machine is in the machine installation, we will be doing the risk assessment in the supplier supplier end itself. During
Okay, sir.
the visit, we will be checking and then giving our control our hazards to them. Once they will be taking the correct action, they will be send a machine to us. Once the machine is installed, before doing the trial, we will be reviewing all the things. That's that process called a ProTag. In this ProTag, we have a different three kind of stages is there, and then the white stage, pink stage, yellow stage, green stage. White stage means there will be the only the equipment will be installed. After before giving the power, we need to check the machine interlocks. If
Okay,
the
sir. Okay.
machine is running an automation, anybody interrupt in this machine, the machine will be stopped or not.
That
Everything,
photoelectric sensors, sir.
yeah, like a photo sensor. There will be a different kind of sensor. Is there? You are correct. One kind of sensor is a photo. The manual stopper also available.
Yes, sir.
Push buttons also, two and push button like that. Different kind of interlock will be available. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, is it is interrelated to MOC, sir? Management of change.
Yeah, this is called in Ford we are called MTC.
Okay,
MTC
sir. Okay.
be doing the any changes we will be raising the MTC sheet. MTC it will be going for all the levels for approval of the changes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Next, moving to the contractor safety management. In this contractor safety management, normally the new contractor entering inside our site, we will be giving the checklist. In the checklist, all the things will be covering the contractor application form, the contractor self declaration. In the self declaration, the contractor who is the safety officer for this contractor team, and how many employees they are going to engage, what kind of activity they are going to be do and then what kind of material they are giving, how much number of PPEs they are giving, everything we will be updating in this checklist. After that only we are allowing to the contract employee to work in this area. First of all, we seeing the induction training. This is the main thing. Before allowing the contract employee, earlier I said who are the allowing our employee, first they must undergo the induction. Similar way, the contractors before entering inside the plant, they must undergo the safety orientation. In the safety orientation delivered in the outside of the gate. After the training only, we will be issuing this pass. In this pass, we will be giving the contract induction seal. After the seal only, the security will be checked and then allowing inside the plant premises. This 100% without a training, we are not allowing anyone. This is one of the legal requirement also. So all the persons must be trained in the induction. All the persons must be aware of the safety procedure, safety protocol of the plant, of the work area. This will be conducted by the safety team. We have a safety engineer and safety discusser. We will be delivering in the induction training. Next one is the contractor daily meeting. In this contractor daily meeting, we have two kind of meeting we are conducting. In the 15 minutes meeting is a daily contractor meeting. In the daily contractor meeting, all the supervisors will be attending in this meeting. And this meeting, they will be explained what are the activities they are going to do today, and what support they required. And we will be checking what are the safety measures they are going to follow, whether they are doing the contractor activity safe or not, whether the one area the two contractor going to work or not. If there are one area the two contractors going to work, who is the primary contract, who is the how they are going to report in case of any emergency or any incident happened, who is going to report, everything we will be checking in this meeting. And the 30-minute meeting is a monthly meeting. In this meeting, we will be elaborately discussing all this, the contract performance past 1 month, and any injury incident happened related to the contract. Everything will be discussed in the contract monthly meeting. And this is a ATC. ATC means Authorized Work Commission. In the one-time registration, the new contractor who are entering inside the plant premises, they must undergone the ATC. They need to update and then hand over to safety. It's prepared by the contractor supervisor, approved by the process manager. Finally, it will be validated by the safety team, safety manager, safety engineer. Then only we are allowing the contractor company to work inside. This is the ATCW. Another part is the PTA. PTA is one of the very important things. I already told it's for the non-standard activity. The non-standard activity means for the construction, for a civil construction or any erection or any kind of without procedures. Like I already told, the without any standard activity means they must be having the PT. In this PTA, they will be need to cover all this activity, job planning. In this job planning, this is a PTA. This in this PTA. First of all, who submitted by this PTA, the contractor company name. Then to mention where this PTA is prepared, where is the location they are going to work, what is kind of activity they are going to do, the duration of the work. These are main important things. What kind of permit they required? Because if they need a confined space or they need electrical, asbestos, excavation, hot work, combustion, lifting, ringing, fire system, height work, what kind of permit they required. And then this is one of the important thing, what kind of energy is available in the particular process, particular equipment, particular machinery. E means electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic, water, control gravity, everything we will be checking. And then what kind of hazards available, electrical hazard, falling object, lifting, ringing, any pinch point, any sharp edges, any fire hazards, any particular fell on eye, if the activity is elevated work or not, everything will be cross-verifying. Finally, it will be prepared by the contractor and approved by the process coach or the respective supervisor. Finally, it will be approved by the Ford, the particular manager. Finally, it will be approved by the Ford safety engineer. This is the project method, the potential hazard, what is the control measure, everything they will be handwritten, they will need to prepare. And then what kind of PP they are going to use. It's a main important thing is the emergency notification, pre or post, pre and post. Pre, they are going to giving the notification, emergency, what is the emergency plan, everything. So all the activities prepared by the supervisor. Then how it will communicate to the respective employees. So that will be pre-briefing must be completed for the each and every contractor employee, and then contractor employee, each and everybody. I am fully understand the activity. The pre-briefing was done by the supervisor. I know the what kind of activity I am going to do today. Everything he will be acknowledged. After that only he will be putting the signature, and then who is the supervisor. Finally, during the activity, respective supervisor and then Ford process engineer and then Ford safety team, we will be surprisingly go and do the audit whether the person is doing the activity as per pre-task analysis or not. If the person is violating, if the person is not following the safety practice, immediately we will be reporting as a violations. We will be circulate the violation to our top management for the actions. In this violation, we have a 3 category. The first one is a class 3 violation, class 2 violation, class 1 violation, like a high risk, medium risk, low risk. In this 3 category, we will be giving we will putting the violation and we will circulate to them, and then with immediately the high risk means immediately activity will be stopped, and then immediately the respective contractor management will be, leadership team will be called for the discussion with our leadership team. Once the action is taken, after that only the contractor companies proceed to further work. And then this is a contractor violation tracking sheet. Once they will get the commitment letter from the contractor company, after that only we will be allowing the contractor company to work inside the plant premises. Normally in the Ford, we are all following all the safety procedures, safety protocols are very strict. Since we are giving Ford is giving a topmost priority to them. Since normally our commitment is health and safety commitment is our most valuable asset is our people. So in Ford, we are giving a first period to all the employees. We are not categorize he is a Ford employee, he is a contract employee, he is a service provider employee. We will be considered all are as equal. Whoever enter inside a site, we consider all are as a Ford employee, all are as a Ford asset. So that is the reason in Ford we are giving a topmost priority to the safety, and then we are strictly following the safety. If there any non-complaints happen, it will be taken as a very serious, and the taking actions also very stringent. Our leadership team also very strictly follow and is very supportively to the safety department. And then moving to the work permits. In this work permit, we have different kind of work permits, art work. In this art work, I already told any art job we will be giving the art work permit, and then yearly once the equipment condition will be checked by the our substation team, technical team, and then they will be giving the unique sticker for the equipment. Once they passed a good condition of equipment only, they will be passed the test. After that only they are allowing to work inside the use the equipment inside the plant premises. Randomly, we will be doing the audit. In this audit, if we found anything, immediately the equipment will be sent to out, and then we will be doing the risk assessment for the very high risk areas like a paint shop, a paint mixing area, and then engine storage area, and then we have engine plant. In this area, we are storing the fuel. In this area, we are considered a very high risk area. We will be doing the separate risk assessment for this areas. After the risk assessment, we will be issuing the permit. In this permit will be issued only by the safety department. Normally the artwork is one of the online training model. Like I already told, the SABA linked training model. This is also one kind of SABA linked training model. The person must be undergone the training. Once the training is completed, it will ask the questions. Once he passed the online test only, they will be getting the artwork certification. After the certification only, we will be allowing the person to issue the artwork permit. Next, moving the height work. If the person is they want to work more than 6 feet height, they must get the height work permit. In this height work permit, we have a 3 training model. The training model 1 is and 2 is covering for the person who is going to work in this area, and then 2 is normally the 1 and 2 is covering the person working. 3 is covering for the permit issuers. In this training model, it will be covering all entire the height work procedure, how the harness they need to be used, what kind of a height work activity, the different kind of height work activity, how they going to approach the height, what kind of equipment they are going to use. Like a harness means harness, what is the safety procedure for the using the harness, how they are going to use the harness. And then if the person is going to use the ladder, what kind of ladder for this activity. Electrical activity means what kind of ladder. Normal activities means what kind of ladder. In the scaffolding safety process, everything will be covering in the height work. This is one of the unique processes we are following in the Ford. The vertigo test. Vertigo test means first the person is a fit medically he is a fit for this height work or not. We will be validate. We will be checking the BP of the person. Hypertension. We will be checking all the persons, and the person allowed to walk in this area. After that, getting down again, we will be measuring the BP. So BP is a normal we are valuing. Since the more few person have a giddiness, the person is in the height they feel as a very the giddiness. If the person is a giddiness, the person may fell down. So that is the reason we will be checking their health condition. After that only we will be allowing to them okay in the height area. So once the height works, the training is completed, we will giving the seal in this ID card. The medical to be completed, and the medical team is giving the seal. After that only we are be allowing to work in the height work. This is one of the thing, the wind velocity. Normally the wind velocity will be validated by the during the height work in the roof area. The wind velocity will be measuring. In the velocity will be measuring by the anemometer. In this anemometer, they will be checking the 3 category. The less than 8 meters per second means they can do the activity. If this wind velocity is 8 to 10 meters per second means the lifting activity should not be happened. Since the more wind will be there, if the wind is there, maybe the sheet will be fly like the for the reason only they should stop. If this greater than 10 meters per second means immediately they should stop the activity, and then they should get down from the height. So this is only one of the important thing. And then we are using the retractable harnesses, rescue equipment we are using. And then moving to the Hydra cranes. Normally the Hydra cranes is banned in Ford India Pyramid. Why it was banned for the lifting the equipment is since it's have a poor visibility. In this equipment there is no stability also. For the reason only we strictly banned this Hydra crane from the 2014. We are allowing only for the pick and carry. In this pick and carry it will have a good stability, good visibility, and then overload indicator also available. For that reason we are allowing for the pick and carry cranes. And then for the crane, allowing the crane also, we have some protocols, some procedures available. Whoever to bring the crane inside the plant premises, first of all, they need to get the permission from the safety. And we are giving the internal driving license to the operator. After that, only we will be allowing. Per day, we are allowing only 2 cranes. If they are going to work in this third crane, means they need to get the approval from the vice president. Normally, the crane is allowed to work up to 4:50 p.m. only. If they are going to work beyond the 5 p.m. means they need to get the vice president approval. These are the few controls for these activities. Now, since it's a critical activity, if the person is doing the after PM, there will be a illumination issues. It will lead to the injury. If we are allowing the multiple crane means there will be a collide will be there. We doesn't know where is the activity is going on, how many activities going on. There is no control. For that reason only we define the process, and then we are giving a good control for the managing the cranes following inside the plant premises. This is the confined space. I already told the confined space is one of the very critical area. This is not a confined space. It's not a normal area. Confined space will be a very congested area. There will be a harmful gases will be there. Normally we will be breathe only the oxygen. In this area there will be a hydrogen, methane, hydrogen, nitrogen. The different kind of oxygen will be available in this area. We can't able to breathe in the normal like a normal atmosphere. For that reason, we will be checking in this area condition by the multi-gas detector. We will be using the multi-gas detector. In this multi-gas detector only we will be checking. After that only we will be checking the person health condition. Based on the health condition only, we will be giving the ID card to them. Based on the ID card only, we will be allowing. So even though we are giving the ID card, even though we are checking the physical condition of the person, we will be using the confined space perimeter. This is one of our legal requirement. Confined space permit must be issued only by the safety officer. In this, permit is valid up to only for the 8 hours. Within 8 hours only the permit is. If the person is going to work beyond the 8 hours, they need to get the renewal of the permit. In this confined space permit, the whoever entering the inside the area, they need to mention, and then they need to in and out time they need to mention in this permit, and then oxygen level, oxygen and other combustible level, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, everything will be measuring in this area. It will be measuring every 2 hours once they will be measuring, and then they will be tracking this area. So periodically, randomly, we are going to go and do the audit. We will be checking, and then security person readily available in this area with the SCABA. So in case of emergency, security immediately went inside the confined space and rescue the person. And then before doing the activity, after issuing permit to them, immediately they are going to inform to the security and the medical team. Since why they are going to inform to medical and the security means, since this is one of the very critical activity, anything goes wrong, medical team should be readily available. For the reason they will be giving the intimation there is a critical confined space activities going on. Anytime any emergency may be happened, you should be ready. Like they give like the information to given to the medical and ERT team. And then next thing is the excavation. Excavation means the people is going to the excavate more than 2 feet means they must get the excavation permit. In this excavation permit, the people will do the check the underground live cable. So if there any live cable or any water pipeline or any pipeline going below the floor, they will be checking. In this, after the checking only, they will be giving the electrical permit. Normally, the electrical permit will be issued only by the authorized person. Once the authorized person is issued in Ford, we have a unique process. We have a duty holder. Duty holder is in charge for all the electrical activities, electrical items. And then we have a ESAB. ESAB is all electrical authorized persons. The person is he only the authorized to approve all the permit issuers, authorized persons. If the ESAB is not available, we fix as alternate ESAB will be available. That alternate will be a alternate ESAB will be rolled in case of ESAB is not available. So like we have a standard process, we have a standard protocol we are following. In this permit, they will be checking the live condition, cable condition, underground cable condition. After that only they will be giving the electrical permit, excavation permit to do the excavation activities. Next, moving to the electrical safety. Electrical is a very important thing. Electrical means the people is going to do the any work in the energized equipments. Electrical means they must apply the lock. The lock is the energy control power lock. They must be switch off the equipment and apply the lock. After that only they are going to allow the activity. So this is one of the very stringent process in say in Ford. We are giving the individual lock for the trained persons. After that only they will be issuing the internal lock with the ID, with the card, with the tag, with the photo. After that only the person is allowed to work. Whenever the person is going to work in this equipment, they must be switch off the equipment and apply the lock, and then only allowed to work. This is a unique process. If the person is, for example, if the 5 person going to work in the one equipment, you can tell how many they need to apply the lock, whether the supervisor need to apply the lock or the working person need to apply the lock. Anyone?
Supervisor.
Good. Any other answer? Any other query? Any other answer? Okay, I will explain. If the what you said is it's not right. Actually, the 5 person need to work in this equipment. All 5 need to apply the lock. All 5 individual need to apply the lock in this equipment. Then only they need to do the activity. Why I am saying all 5 means, for example, if you are told the supervisor has applied the lock, whether the activity is going on. Once the 4 persons completed activity, they reported to the supervisor, sir, the activities were completed. What the supervisor assumed, oh, all 5 are completed the activity, but one person is doing the activity, he didn't check and then switch on the equipment, means what it will be happened? There will be an injury happen to the 5th person, right? So for that reason only, everyone should apply the lock in this equipment. All 5 need to apply the lock in this equipment, then only they need to work in this area. Here, now you understand? Now you understand?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good. Okay, so this is a unique thing. So we will be doing the surprise audit during the activities. In this activity, if anyone couldn't apply the lock, mean it will consider as a very serious. It will go to the warning level or suspension, or if to in terms of termination level. Since the ECPL is if anyone is violation the ECPL, it will lead to the major injury. So for the reason we are giving stringent action for this. So apply the ECPL lock also. We have 2 plug guards available. One is a master plug guard, another one is access plug guard. Master plug guard means where they need to apply the lock. They must they mentioned the equipment layout. In this equipment layout, you need to be stand check. You are here where the pneumatic energy will be available, where the electrical energy will be available. From the layout, you can go and apply the lock. This access plug guard means whenever the people is doing the ECS PMD is they are doing the minor task. The task is not required to totally switch off the equipment. Just they cut the circuit and go and do the minor corrections or minor adjustment activity. For that reason, they will be open the safety circuit. They will apply lock in the gate and then doing the activity. Anyone come and close the lock also, the door will not close. Since the persons apply the lock in the gate, So they will be go and do the minor activities and then they will be come back. So in this activity also we will be do the risk assessment. The risk assessment will be mentioned this activity, this are the activity only we are allowing in the access placard. Otherwise the activity is not available in the access placard, they should go for the master placard, totally switch off the equipment and apply the lock. So these are two different things for master placard and the access placards. Next, moving the arc flash. This is for the electrical equipments. This is a implemented process in Ford. Nowadays, only all our Indian OEMs they are implementing in this process. In this process, normally in our home, whenever you switch on or switch off the switches, you will be you will be see the spark, right? Whenever you switch on or switch off the switches, you will be see the spark in this switch boxes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the spark will be there will be a boundary will be there. Normally the in home we will be using the 240 or 230 volt or 440 volt. The amps rating will be different. In the industry we have a kilowatt level of electrical energy we. So whenever the person is going to switch on or switch off the equipment, there will be a huge electrical spark will be happened. So for that reason, they should wear the electrical arc chute. They should be wear. In this arc chute, they will be using a two category, class 2 arc flash and class 4 arc flash. Class 2 means 12 calorie of 12 calorie, and then class 4 means 54 calorie. This is calorie mentioned as the material of the chute, and then arc rated harness, and then Skyping tool. This is the mainly used for the cutting the energized electrical cables. Normally, the persons are cutting the live cable means he will get the electrical shock. So for that reason, we will using the spiking hydraulic cutter. Will be fixed and then cutting without the electrical shock. This is the arc flash boundary level. If the person is standing where they need to be stand, everything will be pasting into all the equipments, electrical panels. If you're going, this will be a limit space. If this is a restricted space, if you want to cross this restricted space, means you should wear the cotton uniform. If you're going to expose limit, means you should wear the normal arc chutes. So these are the things related to the electrical. Then normally the electrical permit we are using for the electrical energies. The duty holder and ESAP is the main backup person to issue the electrical permit. This is electrical arc flash, as I told no previous slide I mentioned the arc flash. This is like this kind of label will be displayed in the each and every panels. And moving to the MEWP. MEWP means mobile elevating work platform, and then PMHE. Somebody told I seen the PMHE. Most of the persons not seen means this is a one kind of MEWP like a scissor lift. This is like a aerial lift. This is a boom lift. This is called as a PMHE forklift. This will be mainly used for the lifting of the equipment. These three things will be mainly used for the lifting of the person, not for the lifting of the loads. And this kind of the internal driving license we will be issuing inside the plant. After the license person only we are allowing to operate the equipments inside. And then moving to excavation mock drills. This excavation mock drills. Important thing is we are doing the different kind of mock drills. Since in the mock drills we can find in case of emergency happened how they will be our security team or medical team or how they will be reacting. Everything will be validated. During the fire mock drill, we will be invited the local fire officers in Maraimal Nagara Fire Department will be come and participate in this event and giving the training to our ERT teams how they need to respond like that. The different kind of mock drills we will be doing like a confined phase, height work, and chemical spillages. These are the kind of mock drills we will be doing. And then impairment. Impairment is one of the very important thing. We have a different kind of fire protection systems like sprinklers, like smoke devices, like sensors, fuel identification sensors, CO carbon reduction sensors. We in the hydrant systems, everything we have fire protection systems. In this fire protection system, if we are doing any impairment, first of all we raise the impairment notification and then we will identify the backup. Then only it will be rolled out to all the persons After that only we will be doing the impairment. In case of on the particular area, in case of emergency, what will be the backup? Everything will be covering in this impairment. And then this is one of the important thing for the audit. Normally we will be doing the process confirmation audit. The process confirmation, this called as a SOI, safety operating index. We will be doing in this. We will be doing. So we have a 77 line items. Each and 77 line items we physically go and check in daily frequency daily, and we will be categorize the red and yellow and green level. Immediately it was circulated to the respective team for the actions. And then this will be guidelines which will be what we will be following, whether like one example, the interview to the employees, understanding how they're reporting work related injury or near miss, how they are aware of that, everything we will be asking the question, how the person is answering, everything we will be validating. And then these are the monthly audit, different kind of monthly audit our team is doing, internal interlock audit, PMHU audit, and then PPE, and then fire extinguisher condition, everything we will be checking. And the industrial hygiene, the noise level, fumes, and then the heat stress, and the ergonomical, and the vibration, chemical, everything we will be checking in our areas. And then health operating system, this is HOS. HOS is mainly focusing on the employee health oriented. This we will be doing the annually we will be reviewing all this procedure. Totally we have a 28 elements in this. All will be reviewed on this. This is normally for the paint shop employee who are using the respiratory mask. We will giving the respiratory fitness, and then our internal doctors, CMOs will be reviewing the personal health conditions. And then we will following the case management and medical care management and job placement, required attendees. So these are the required attendees. We will be mainly participate in this case management. In this case management, we will be discussing all the cases, all the cases in case of any personal issues, persons are facing, everything we will be discussing the case management and finding the alternate jobs. And this is one of the main important thing for the safety promotional strategy. So we are doing a different kind of promotional activity in our plant, like road safety, and then smoking awareness program, and then hygiene, and then recently we did a road safety awareness program in the GST road, and a contractor safety fest, contractor activity, mobile phone awareness program, like a different kind of program conducted. Last week we did smoking awareness program with the support of in our SRM medical college team. They came and presented the smoking awareness program inside the plant, and then mobile awareness, and then the last time we did with the support of global team cancer awareness program. Different kind of program we are conducting for the each month for creating awareness. Since the safety is normally the people who go and asking the questions, normally the people will be finding the fault. But in this case, in Ford India, we are not only finding the fault, we are educating to them, we are supporting to them to create a more awareness. In Ford, safety department not only authorized to asking all the questions. Everyone have a responsibility. Everyone have a equal responsibility to ask the questions. Everyone can ask anybody whether why you are not following the safety practices, why you are not violating things. Everybody will be asking, and everybody will be creating the awareness among all the peoples. So that is the reason Ford is the number one in the safety of our employees, our workers, our contract representatives. So for this, I am closing this awareness session. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you want any support, definitely you can ask me anytime. I am ready to support to you. All the very best for in your future career. And hand over to you. If you have any doubt, please ask me.
Yeah, thank you, sir. If any doubts, you can shoot out your questions.
Thank you very much. This is Dr. Prinyanam.
Hi, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Velangani Manogar, for your useful and informative speech, particularly for sharing the different formats normally used in the industry. For example, pre-task analysis, contractor audit checklist, equipment health checkup, and risk assessment form, confined space work permit, and electrical safety. So these kind of formats, whatever you are using in the industry, you have shown, and definitely this will be very useful to our students. So normally the students will see the books and just they'll go through. But whenever like you, the industrial experts, if you give the actual things, whatever happening in the industry, that will be eye opener for the students. Now, please students, this is the time for you. You can interact, particularly ME students. You can freely discuss with the expert speaker. Mr. Christie, any student?
Yes, sir.
Please interact with the guest speaker.
Yes, sir. Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, myself, Christy Abhinay, sir, from ME Industrial Safety Engineering.
Yes, Christy, tell me what you.
Sir, I have 2 questions, sir. Sir, how did Ford India manage to implement emergency shutdown during lockdown, sir, when it was implemented last year?
Mainly for the during the lockdown, we have we define the process. We get the process from the global team. We have a separate medical team is available. They will give the protocols. Based on the protocols, we discuss with the internal departments, and we'll decided. So what is the requirement for the RTW? RTW means return to work procedures. For example, the person is the need to enter inside the plant. What is the process we need to follow? So like the things, for example, we are doing the temperature scanning for all the persons before boarding the buses, and then we are ensuring the nose mask for all the persons before boarding the bus, and then we are giving the hand sanitizer to them. So like a procedure we set for the boarding the bus. After when the person is get down from the bus, before he entered the plant premises, we made as a track, like a track provision. We provide 5 tracks were implemented in front of the gate. In this gate, they will be entering in this area. We marked as a slot. In this slot, they should follow. And before you enter the plant, with the security team will be checking the temperature for all the employees. Once the checking is completed, they will be checking the 3-play mask. Normally, we are not allowing the normal reusable mask or N95 mask. We are allowing only for the disposable 3-play mask only. The N95 mask is allowed only for health workers. So like the setup we implemented. After that, we are given to the care kit to all the employees. In this care kit, having the nose mask and then hand sanitizer, tissue paper, everything for as a welcome gift we are given to all the employees. And then before they are coming to the plant, we are made us one video or a new normal requirement procedures, everything made as a one video, and through WhatsApp we send to all the employees. In the home itself, they will be watching the video. They were in the process we clearly defined, and then it's clearly explained to them, self informative. They explain to them, and then they will read and they will watch and understand. After that only we are be allowing. And then canteen also we have a different kind of protocols, different timing also we fixed for the employees. Since the huge crowd one time they will be coming to the canteen means it will create a problem. So that is we'll differentiate the timing, everything we fixed. So we have we defined a standard protocols, and we have for the emergency also, in case of anyone is affected in the COVID, what is the protocol we should be follow, like a flow chart we prepared. And then recently we did a mock drill also. Frequently we will be doing the mock drill, whether the employee is aware of the emergency protocol or not, whether the medical team is following our protocol or not, whether the our ERT team is following our emergency protocol or not. Everything we will be checking in the periodically. So this is the method we are follow for the during the lockdown period.
Yes, sir. Sir, another one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in the production, sir, after the lockdown, when the normal production started, what are the main risk identified or main risk faced by Ford India, sir, in production related, sir?
Yeah, production related, we faced only the people attendance is a concern during the production stage itself. In the beginning, since the most of the people are went to the native places. They can't able to come to the plant. That is one thing was we faced. After that, they arranged for the vehicle to pick the employee in the native places. After that only the attendance was improved, then the production will be normalized. There is no safety issues, safety point of view is only the RTW, only the new normal issues only we educated since the wearing the nose mask is a very new for all of them. So we will be keep on educated them. We use the public address system to announce them and create awareness. And then work area also, area also, the people should not work very close to them. So will analyze the process. If the process is doing very close means we are using the face shield to the face shield to them, or face shield for some of them. We provide a goggle to them. So like that, the process we face the issue for the productions. Once we did a detailed analysis of this area, and then we come back to the normal productions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, could you please tell me about the hazardous waste management and what are the legal forms you are following in your industries?
Yeah, hazardous management. Okay. Actually, in food, we have two different kind of teams. The health and safety team is taking care only for health and point of view. We have environmental team is there. In this environmental team, only taking care of the hazard management everything. So we are not handle the hazard
Okay,
management.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, and another one question, sir. Can you
Yes.
please tell me about ergonomic safety?
Yeah, ergonomic. Yes, ergonomic. Earlier stage itself, ergonomic. We a safety team is doing the ergonomic activity. Now the local ergonomic committee will be is there. That team only doing the ergonomic. In this ergonomic, normally the people like a risk assessment. All the ergonomic will be reviewed. In this reviewed, we have a unique tool. How the person is a poster, how frequently the person is working, what kind of weight they are lifting, everything will be considered. And then we have a unique tool used for the calculating the risk. Yeah, tools will be using. In this tool only the RPN will be calculated. Based on RPN only it will be rated, and this ergonomic committee will be monthly once. We have local ergonomic committee. In this meeting we will be reviewing all this activity. And then for example, if the person is manually lifting the equipment, manually lifting the pot, if the manually lifting the pot means how the his posture, what kind of weight he is lifting, how many time he is lifting, how many hours he is, everything identified, everything will be calculated. Based on this calculation, we will be giving the rating. Based on the rating, the action will be taken. Whether we can go for the any lifting tackles or any manipulator, or we can go for a administration control for like a job rotation. Every 2 hours we can rotate the person, or every half a day we can rotate the person. Like that, actions will be taken by in the local economic. There will be committee is there. In this committee, detail review will be happened. In this review, the report will be reviewed on monthly basis. Earlier, we in our medical center, there is a doctors available. The doctors physically they will go and check the activity. If the person is any raising the any ergonomic concern, immediately doctor and ergonomic team will be visited the location and review the process. Based on the review, they will be taking the actions. So this is the practice we followed in the ergonomic.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, which tool you are using, sir? Reba tool?
Sorry?
Reba tool or ruler?
Yeah. Roller. Normally the people is using the roller in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other doubts from student side? Is there any doubts? You can clarify it right now. So, yeah, anybody? Okay. Thank you, sir, for enlightening your experience in this session. So really had a wonderful presentation out of this session. So really you have given a wonderful presentation on how safety measures adapted for the employees, contractors, and various job roles, and also various safety practices followed on various job activities. From the job floor to the high-rise activity. So you have covered the entire scenario what was going on inside industry. So overall, we have seen the entire safety which was carried out inside the Ford industry. Just we have gone just virtual tour like that. Just we have seen what are the safety things from the top to bottom of the various adaptation. Also, how we are going to carry out all those things. So really, it will be a very entire broad session regarding the safety. So those those students which are interested in safety, or those who are interested to learn about the safety, how it's going on, so it will be very useful for them. So really it had a wonderful session out of this one, sir. So really very much thankful
Sir.
for this wonderful. Yeah. Yes, sir.
இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் பண்றதுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் சொல்லுவாங்க
சாரி கண்ணா சொல்லுப்பா கேட்கல. அஜய் உங்க வாய்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் கிளியரா இல்லப்பா.
சார் இல்ல சார் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் பண்றதுக்கு வந்து அலோவ் பண்ணுவாங்களா சார்?
ஓகே,
இண்டஸ்ட்ரி விசிட்
பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு. ஆக்சுவலி வந்து இப்போதைக்கு கோவிட்னால வந்து we are not allowing the visitors or like a training இந்த மாதிரி நாங்க அலோவ் பண்றது இல்ல. Once the normalized, I will inform to Pradeep. So any requirement is there or not, I will communicate to them. Presently, we are stopped for all this internship or in-plant training, all that thing, Ajay.
Okay. Is there anything, Ajay, to discuss with the guest? Yeah. So once again, I thank you on behalf of Mechanical Engineering Department, SRM William Engineering College, for accepting our invitation and sharing your work experience, sir. So once again, I thank you so much on behalf of everyone. So thank you, sir. In case in the future, in case if you're we have any time, so we can meet up with some other occasion regarding the safety or some other aspect regarding to which will be useful for our students.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Pradap sir and HOD for giving me the wonderful opportunity to deliver the awareness session to all. Thank you very much. All the very best to you all. Thank you. If you have any doubt, anytime you can contact me. I will support to you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Okay, students, you can leave out of the session. Thank you.